All right, hello and welcome to Football Twaddle. My name is Saru. Yash, what's up?
Hello.
First up, let's discuss the most
Mhm.
important thing in the world. Elon Musk has finally bought Twitter.
Oh, has he?
Yes, he is in the Twitter headquarters over the last 2 days, and he wanted to post a message on Twitter saying that,
Mm-hmm.
look who's at, I am at Twitter headquarters, let that sink in. So he actually carried a sink and went to the headquarters. So now think of his PR person. Just for that one tweet, he had to run out and buy some sink. But finally, the purchase has gone through. So we have new owners for a medium which we rarely used to promote our podcast, but frequently used to gain knowledge.
Great. It's amazing. The most trusted source of news now has a billionaire owner to fund it, to make it more interesting.
Dude, poor guy, he didn't want to buy it. He was forced to buy it. He was literally forced to buy it. So, yeah. Anyway, talking about billionaires and their plans and everything. We are recording this on a Thursday, right? Today's Thursday.
Yep.
We are
Thursday.
recording this on a Thursday night after we found out that 5 or 6 clubs who were in the original gang of European Super League are now going to
Yeah.
play Europa League.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they must be telling their fans, "We told you so. Why were you idiots protesting? This is the kind of things that we wanted protection against."
But they're so bad. So they can't even call themselves the best clubs in Europe anymore.
Oh, absolutely not.
So,
Absolutely.
like, there wasn't there justification of Super League that we don't want to play all these small teams, the big teams should play each other and everything.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess there is a certain level of circular logic there going around. Like we were good in the past, so only want to play each other. Then someone asked them, like, what about the teams who are getting better? They're like, no, they're not supposed to get better. It's because we're not playing each other, the other teams
Others
are
are
getting
getting
better.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's tackle this one by one. A result you and I are crazily happy about. Inter Milan
Yeah.
beat some Plesne, right?
Vittoria
Victoria
Pleasant.
Plesne. So
Yeah,
that result gave us enormous joy. Not because we
absolutely.
really particularly care about Inter or Victoria Plesne, but Barcelona are, I think, they're technically gone to Europa, or they are.
Yeah, they're in Europe. Pleasant are on 0 points. So even Barca are not bad enough to finish fourth in that group.
Wait, but they are on 4 and Inter are on 10, right? 5 game weeks are done.
5 games. Yeah.
Oh, so they're for sure in Europa. I thought that there could be a
Yeah.
back channel in which Barcelona can like bribe their way and come up to like like Europa, but clearly that ain't happening. Dude,
But
what's
there is all sorts of crazy news going around. Like a lot of sponsors are planning to pull the plug because all these players that they bought, the levers that they pulled were based on the money that they were going to get in playing like the
champ?
knockout stages of the Champions League. Which is
Oh,
strange, man, because they could have easily got knocked out in the round of 16. How much money can you make from like one two-legged tie, I wonder?
a lot maybe because they depend on
Lot,
how
no?
many clubs from Spain go in there. You can easily make at least 20-22 million dollars more with that one knockout game.
It's still like a extreme situation for Barcelona. Let's see how they wriggle out of this one now.
So is the stadium still going to be called Spotify Camp Nou?
There's no reason for it to not be, right? I mean, I don't think Spotify was one of the sponsors. I mean, from what I read, maybe none of them will pull out. Eventually, Laporta will find a way to convince them,
He will
or
pull another
PK will
economic
find a way to
lever.
convince.
He'll pull another economic lever to keep these current economic levers happy. Did you read that crazy news? Which
Hmm.
I mean, it never got that much airtime, but in the first week of August, there was a news article in the Athletic. I don't know if it's
Okay.
irony, but it seems so true that Barcelona wanted to take a loan from
Hmm.
UEFA
Gotcha.
based on the money they're going to earn in Champions League in
Mhm.
advance.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about UEFA, but most of their loans from other financial institutions as well are based on future earnings. This, of course, is because of their stupid decisions like giving a lot of money to Coutinho and
No, that is fine.
all
So
that.
if you're
Yeah.
a bank, I go to you and I say,
Mhm.
look, I'm going to earn off some other asset. So you give me
Right.
loan against it. Bank will weigh out the risk and say, okay. But now you're
Mhm.
going to the asset itself and saying that you are going to pay me anyway in Kisto in over the next 1 year. Pay that to me in
I,
advance.
I guess they're behaving like a, like a bigda hua beta, like a little child. He's like, your entire life, it depends on me being successful in the future. So give me money.
Wow. So
That's
they're
all.
got
Because I mean, I think Barcelona believe that they're too big to fail, and they are the brand that makes UEFA successful. Because if you don't consider the Premier League, it's just them and Real and maybe a couple of Italian clubs and Bayern that really matter for, as far as UEFA are concerned, for revenue. So it's just, they're basically, they're playing chicken. Like if UEFA buy their crap, then yeah, they
they
might be able to swindle some money out of the organization.
yes. Netflix is going to come up with a documentary on FIFA. I saw the trailer of it. They should
Mhm.
also make a documentary on Barca swindlers, like the Tinder swindler. They should make a money thing out of that. Okay, talking about the Italian clubs, Juventus. Oh, jeez, like how bad are they? They're
So,
bad all around, and they can't even fire Allegri because it will just cost them too much to fire him. So they're really
yeah, I mean, it's funny how it's come around in a circle, man. I mean, Allegri was there in his previous stint. He just could not win them a Champions League. That was the only thing. That's why they bought Cristiano and sold all the good players. Now they're back again to Allegri, and he's playing outdated, terrible football.
You know who
And
got rid of
although,
Allegri from Juventus?
I mean, it has to be Angeli, right?
Cristiano. I nearly had a meeting.
Ah,
I
that's
nearly
okay.
had a meeting with Cristiano. Ki, what do you feel about Allegri? He said, ki, nahi, nahi. And but they didn't refer to Cristiano when they wanted to hire Sari. So that's why.
Yeah, but it's not Cristiano's job to be sourcing shit, right? But I mean, come on, Allegri plays outdated football, man. He's a done man now. He'll
Yeah.
probably be a good national team manager for Italy or whatever. But yeah, I mean, his day is done. His day is gone.
Poor thing. He's gone. Anyway, I mean, I don't really care about Juventus so much at all.
Me neither.
So even they are gone. Atletico Madrid, you know,
Man, that was the match of the evening, man. What an insane end that it had. And speaking about coaches whose time has
pass.
sadly
You,
passed, I think Simeone is. I mean,
dude,
they should, whatever, name a stand after him and get rid of him, man.
I've been an Atletico supporter for years now, and I've been at least saying for
Okay.
3.5, 4 years, ki bhai, please.
Oh, you're the Claude of Atleti.
Yes,
It's
I've
time
been
to
saying for
go.
I've been saying for so long, get rid of Simeone. When they won the La Liga, I knew it. That guy, they are not going to like.
Sack
He
him.
was done at least 4 years ago, and I think he's the highest paid manager in the world,
He is, yeah.
right?
I mean,
So,
unless Pep is getting paid through Hawala, which hopefully he is.
you think Pep and Sheikh Mansoor are looking at a 10 rupee note and matching it and exchanging cash?
Yeah, dude, it's gold from the souks
Yeah,
that
and
gold bars is getting paid in.
let's talk a little about the ending of the game. They had a penalty.
Yeah, yeah. It was an insane game, man. I mean, insane game and an insane ending. It reminded me of Manchester United's game against Brighton, where the final whistle had gone, but
Oh,
VAR
but
told the referee.
yeah, they got a penalty after that. But I
Yeah.
mean, I have to say, for all the Simeone hate, no, this was
Mhm.
probably one game where they actually played decent.
Yeah, but look at it this way, dude. I was watching the game and I thought the stakes were high. It was only after the game ended I realized that even Leverkusen have no stakes. Like they were just playing for pride.
Oh,
And they managed to pull this off, man. And they spoiled Atleti's party. I mean, had they won the game, they would have gone to Europa. But I don't know whether Bayer Leverkusen really want to go to Europa. I mean, they're doing badly in the league as well. So I
yeah.
don't think they care.
I don't think I've seen a more insane ending to the game than remember the Watford versus Leicester thing.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. That was legendary. But this will be one of the UEFA legendaries.
Yeah, so goalkeeper saves, then you head it,
Yeah.
and oh god, all sorts of things. But even
Yeah,
Athletic,
so Saul Niguez heads the ball back. It touches the crossbar. It comes back. Someone else shoots. It's a goal line save and final whistle.
dude, that
What
was
an ending. What an ending. It was Hollywood stuff.
yeah, that was amazing. So now even Atleti are in Europa League, right?
Right.
So let us look at Tottenham Hotspur. They are
Oh,
somehow
that was another ending that was like disastrous for Tottenham.
there was a disaster for Tottenham, but I mean, I think someone on our WhatsApp group asked, what club do I support, which is generally not followed by other people. And I said Sporting because Mini Mourinho beat Conte. And
Mhm.
Sporting did well. But was that what do you make of the VAR decision at the end?
I don't know, man. It's just sad. This is one of those places where VAR is ruining it. But I think Spurs had some bad karma coming from VAR no goal from all those years ago against Man City. I mean, that was a result that I like. This game I really had no stakes whatsoever. But this result has certainly thrown the group open. Now all four teams can qualify from this group. And speaking about the decision, I mean, he was clearly offside when Emerson headed it, but then is in opposition, a Sporting player brushed his thigh to the ball. So what the referee had to decide was whether it was a pass back or not. It boiled down to that.
Yeah,
And
but I mean, I
yeah,
don't.
I mean, I think it was a silly interruption. They should have just, I mean, the goal should have stood, man. It's just,
I
it was
see. So,
nonsense.
if that is your opinion, do you think the ball bowled to Virat Kohli in 19.2 overs was a no ball or not?
Yeah, it was 100% a no ball.
Yes, what makes that marginal decision 100% decision with no doubts
No,
in your
because
mind?
because I think the leg umpire gave it a no ball. There's no DRS or anything. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
where
I
the
mean,
story.
little segue into cricket. Like Pakistan could have appealed that decision, and the umpire would have done a DRS check, or we don't know enough
I,
about the
I I
game.
don't I don't know much about that much about DRS actually. I know a little bit about cricket, but less about DRS.
Do you know who I want to go through in that group? I want Marseille, which is like
Hmm.
Arsenal light or whatever, and Sporting to go through. That will be so much fun. And Tottenham should.
Hmm.
Is there a way Tottenham can just get out of Europe? Like,
I
get out of
it
Europa
depends.
also.
No, I think they can. I mean, yeah, they easily can. I mean, even if Sporting and Eintracht. No, actually, what are the next matches? Let me just check out.
So Marseille and Tottenham.
So Marseille played Tottenham. No. I think at least Europa is on cards for them. Even if they lose that game. No, wait. So if they lose that game
No, what do you mean
and
if they are going to lose to Marseille,
okay, fair
right?
enough. They lose to Marseille. Marseille go to 9 points. Now both Sporting and Eintracht, if they both have finished on 8 points, no, then still Tottenham will be in the Champions League if that happens.
Oh shit. So fine.
If
Then
if Sporting versus Eintracht ends in a draw, the other result doesn't matter really. Spurs anyway make it to Champions League.
okay, so we need a Sporting and
Promises.
a Marseille win.
Or
Cool.
even Eintracht. If you want Sporting to go through, so yeah, Sporting
Yes.
and Marseille.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So there goes that group. Now let me look at the Napoli group because Liverpool are second after 4 wins and Napoli are first because they are just
Yep,
playing
yep.
perfect football. But one thing is about Rangers. I actually thought Rangers would do decently well, but clearly they got thumped
No, dude,
everywhere.
this group, like the results are so. I mean, they're exactly how they should be. Everyone has won against everyone they're supposed to win against. I mean, considering if you're going to say Napoli is number one, they have
Yes.
won all their games. Liverpool have just lost to Napoli. Ajax have lost to the other two teams. Rangers have lost to everyone. This is like a caste system in this this group. Yeah.
All right. The last thing about Champions League,
Yeah.
PSG beat Maccabi Haifa, and there was
I
a
mean,
lot of Lionel Messi love.
hmm,
I didn't understand why, but I actually didn't even bother about this game. But why are people praising Messi? Remind me again.
I don't know. I mean,
You don't know.
Israel has a lot of kibbutzes, right? So
Wow.
Haifa is in Israel. I'm assuming that Messi was at home playing against farmers. Now that he's learned to play well against French farmers.
Wow, man, that's amazing. All right,
No, but
let's.
their next game is against.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, before we take a break, let's quickly talk about two Premier League results on the weekend. One is
Mhm.
Manchester United drew 1-1 with who? With
Yep,
Chelsea. Oh,
Chelsea.
yes. You had very strong opinions on how hugging a player in penalty box is not a penalty.
Yeah, no, I think it's a penalty. It's just their referees don't give them. I don't know why in such an important high pressure game, there was such
I
inconsistency.
I actually thought about this a little. The referees
Mm.
generally don't give them when there's a lot of crowd and they can't really identify who's pulling whom. Here, McTominay and I don't know who was the Chelsea guy he was hugging.
It's
Yeah,
okay, whoever he was.
whoever he was, they were like away from the pack, so they were doing their own thing. So
Mm.
it just seemed much more obvious then. That's the only
Okay.
reason. But Martial scored right for United.
Casemiro scored. Marshall is injured.
Oh, sorry, Casemiro, that header. Correct, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. That
Oh man,
looping header that he
the
scored.
celebrations.
Yeah, yeah. It was insane. Like Lisandro Martinez found a photo of him celebrating with the fan and wrote, "I don't know who you are, but we're in it together." This Argentines have some weird intensity to them, man. I mean, I'm not
They,
talking about Messi. He's a cool guy, not at
no,
all
I
intense.
think Messi is very intense. He cried at not getting money from Barcelona. Imagine that
Maybe
is
it's just
intense.
not come through. Maybe it doesn't come through. A lot of other Argentines, their intensity really comes through
There is.
in their
I
game
mean,
or in their
one time
celebrations.
in one time in life we have to go to the La Bombonera and watch a game. That has to be a bucket list thingy
All right.
because we'll come back with injuries the same night and they'll be like scars, but it's supposedly worth it. So yeah, so that result happened, and I also read that Cristiano kissed and made up with Eric Ten Hag.
Dude, this has been happening every month now. This is like that. This reminds me of the Saurav Ganguly, Greg Chappell playing pool, if you remember, another cricket reference,
Oh,
where
I see.
it's so fake that I mean, we can smell it from miles away. And I would like to say thank goodness for Manchester United that the World Cup is around the corner, so this circus will end soon.
Yes, correct. And talking about circus, Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool 1-0.
Oh man, that was a fun game. That was a fun game that night. I mean, Liverpool for a very short while were high on beating Manchester City, and
Yeah,
everyone said they're back, but they clearly aren't.
week ago we did that saying that Manchester United and Liverpool seem to be catching on to
Hmm.
some form. So yeah, so as I was saying, the red team comeback is fine, evergreen. Nottingham Forest also red. All right, we should take a break right now. I think
Sure.
we've seen a lot of football over the last
Mhm.
week, and so it should be a little difficult for you to choose a player of the week. Yes, let's see what you do with it. So
Yeah.
stay tuned to Football Portal. Hello, welcome back to Football Portal. My name is Saru. My good friend Yes is with me. Yes, what is up?
Hello, how good, buddy?
All right, who has been your player of the week?
So, I think this is a little predictable, but we may get some things right and some things wrong on this podcast. But one thing that we were absolutely right about from the beginning is how awesome Miggy Almiron is. And long before those memes, taking on Jack Grealish, I had narrated the entire story like last month when Almiron scored his first goal. So it has to be Miggy Almiron, whose stats are so much better than Jack Grealish. What a way to,
Dude,
you know,
he is
what a slap on the face.
he's definitely the most improved player from last season in the Premier League. I mean, we
Yeah.
are not even missing John Joe Shelby, imagine, and
Mhm.
who was a rock for us last year after the Saudi takeover.
We are not even missing Saint Maximin at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these
Yeah.
guys have stepped up big time. You have to give
Mm.
kudos to Eddie Howe and people like
The
Miguel
players.
Almiron, like the peasants, so to speak. They are doing really well. I would have chosen Miguel Almiron as I always choose a Newcastle player, but it's good you did. But
Mhm.
I would actually choose either Anthony Gordon or Danny Ings, right? Because Danny Ings showed the world that no one in Aston Villa actually really liked Gerrard. It's like the minute they kick him out, they win 4-0. Like it was a sea change. So that and Anthony Gordon for actually beating Crystal Palace 3-0, and Everton are slowly climbing up the table, which is quite good on Super Frank because they're already 12th in the table. So one of these two. All right. What are you watching this weekend, Yash?
This weekend, there are a bunch of mixed bag, but I think I'll watch Manchester United versus West Ham United
What?
at Old Trafford. The
Why?
return, the return of
Dude,
one more
I mean,
return of David
United
Moyes.
has sacked so many managers now that there's a
Yeah.
lot of returns.
No, but he's the only one left in the league.
Really? Oh yeah, Van Gaal is
Yeah,
gone, Solskjaer is gone, Mourinho is
Mourinho is
gone.
gone. Yeah,
Wow,
that's it.
that's amazing. So
Yeah.
you're crediting David Moyes for the longevity.
Yeah. I mean, this year, West Ham are sort of struggling in the league, but they are doing okay in Europe. Let's see how well they do at Old Trafford.
Yeah, talking about West Ham, I mean, I've known you to be not a braggadocio sort of a person,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to like fantasy football league and all. But wow, your Twitter post, it felt like Mary Com had won like two world titles or
No,
something.
absolutely. No, but Maricom is a high achiever. Like when people like me who generally make wrong decisions in FPL find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, they'd like to show off, right?
All
I mean,
right, so
I was not doing so well in our mini leagues, and one night Zuma manages to score a goal with the back of his head, keeps a clean sheet, 15 points straight. There's no way anyone would have picked him and captained him. So,
you
yeah, that was a
captained him
big.
as well.
No, no, I did not. So that's what I'm saying. That this is almost the best case scenario. Right? I had Zuma in the team. He scored 15 points. Like I won both
Yeah,
of the
that's
mini leagues.
amazing. Why did you keep Zuma in the team? Like, was it a money constraint?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, West Ham are not very leaky when it comes to the goals. And apart from this game against Manchester United, I think they have decent draws. And I got him in like 3 weeks back, and even that run in was sort of easier for Zuma.
Wow. And then I'm looking at your team right now. You have Miguel Almiron, which is kind of obvious.
Obviously.
We've been like loving this guy. Andres Pereira.
No, but he's the ultimate enabler, right? He's 4.5. He's been giving a lot of assists, and yeah, he's a
Hey, how
great
is
sub to have. He's moved on from being a great sub to actually a great starter for that range.
yeah, so how is Andres Pereira has finally found some footing. He's doing decent, actually,
Yeah,
in
man,
life.
he's found his Brazilian passport. So yeah,
Oh God, even he wants to play with Neymar in from next month. All right, so that you go. What's the game I am going to watch? So this Brighton versus Chelsea. It's the return
mm.
of this guy,
Oh,
Graham
the guy
Potter.
who's changed everything,
Yes,
the
and
wizard.
exactly. And I'm also going to keep an eye on Lecce versus Juventus because you know what Allegri did in the game against Benfica? He took out two senior fellows and put into junior guys. Like,
Okay.
ki jao dikhao. He's probably like he was
Mm.
saving legs for the big time encounter against Lecce. Now that they're out of Champions League, I want to see what was his genius thinking about it. So yeah, I'll watch Lecce versus Juventus, but otherwise Brighton versus Chelsea seems like a good thing. It's going to be De Zerbi versus Graham Potter. It's going to be a fun game. And with Kepa in the form that he is in, everyone was so shocked at Manchester United scoring a goal and Kepa like somehow left it in. But he kind of tried
Nice.
to save it, but it was just too good a header. So yeah. On that note, do we have midweek fixtures again starting next week or?
Of course, there are. This is such a congested season. Either Champions League or that League Cup will be there. I think
Oh,
the Champions League is finishing off next.
yeah, there'll be the Champions League. So that's what it
Yeah.
is. Alrighty. Okay, yes, take care,
All
buddy.
right. Take care. Bye.
And all of you take care as well. See you next week. Bye bye.